Yo, um, I want to talk about the um, the changing narrative that seems to be plaguing basketball, or just the NBA in general. Did you notice that a lot of people tend to now disrespect guys that you may consider just one dimensional, or guys that excel at doing one thing great, right? And they tend to disrespect these guys and only give certain players credit if they could do a multiple amount of things. Basically praising all around players and disrespecting the guys that like to put their foot on your neck and try to go for the kill most of the time. The snipers, silent killers, so to speak. Even though you got guys like, I'm gonna name a few that on this list: Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, Carmelo Anthony, guys like that. All right. And it kind of started with Carmelo Anthony. People started disrespecting him. Oh, he doesn't play defense. He's a one-dimensional player. All he does is like to score. And my rebuttal to that is, who cares? If that's what he does, then let the guy do what he does. When you form and you organize a team, all right? A team is supposed to have multiple facets of somebody doing something different. Okay? It's like Voltron. Everybody comes together to form one. That's how you win a championship. You can't build a robot with two legs and then having another piece of legs and using that as the arms, all right? Somebody has to be the torso, somebody has to be the head, somebody has to be the brain. You need to put everything all in one. So yes, all-around players are great for the game of basketball. Pass first players are great for the game of basketball. Defensive-minded players are great for the game of basketball. But guess what? So is scores. Okay? So is guys that say, hey, give me the ball and get the F out of my way and let me do what I gotta do. It's that time of the game. You know? Let me try to close this thing out. And I think it started with LeBron James because he was considered the best basketball player for over 10 years, right? And his style of play kind of influenced a lot of people to use the past players before LeBron and say, oh, okay, let's disrespect these guys and use them as an afterthought because the guy that's currently the best player in basketball is a pass first player. You know, before LeBron was the best basketball player in the world, Kobe Bryant had the torch. Before Kobe Bryant had the torch, Michael Jordan had the torch, and so forth. Now, the last two guys that had that torch was Kobe and Jordan. Now, we all know this, the similar things those two guys share in common. It's pretty much like, Venom and Carnage, Marvel reference, Michael Jordan being Venom, the original, and Kobe Bryant being the offspring. So that goes to the notion of, if a guy is not looking to so-called make his teammates better by passing the ball to them, his value to the team is useful. It's not that useful. All right? But you can have plenty of ways to motivate guys to be great. Michael Jordan kind of installed fear into his teammates and the guys on the court to win. I always say, whatever gets the job done, that's all that matters. If you like to put your foot on people's necks and you like to lead a certain way and it gets the job done, it doesn't matter how you get the job done as long as you get the job done. If you want to be all buddy-buddy with your teammates, roasting marshmallows by the campfire, hugging them and, singing songs together and, talking about the good old times. And that's how you think you motivate people to be great. so be it then, you know? And that's more like a LeBron's approach, right? He likes being buddy buddy with people. So whenever somebody has at least one criticism or negative thing to say about him, he's like, okay, I don't want to play with this guy. We're gonna have to trade him or something, or I'm gonna go to management to see if what can happen. You know, Michael Jordan and Kobe would have been the complete opposite. They would have been, hey, you got a problem with what I said? Then hey, get your ass on that court and do what I do then, and then I'll pass you the ball more often. You know, and there's a lot of these a lot of these past first players, they're great. Don't get me wrong, okay? And now I said plenty of times, LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant. I mean, there's a lot of evidence to back that up. Kobe Bryant was more of a lesser efficient version of Jordan, all right? But with that being said, that's because LeBron is looking to so-called make the right play. A lot of these guys that claim that they do that, or so-called play, or stat stuffers, or guys that fill up the stat sheet all across the board. Wilt Chamberlain was another guy like that. He stat stuffer. He filled up put up records that you couldn't possibly imagine, video game style records. LeBron James broke a lot of people's records, when it's said and done, he's going to have better stats than Michael Jordan. But does that really mean you're better just because you have better stats? The answer is no. All right? Because Wilt Chamberlain, just like LeBron, have won. They're successful, yes. But they have coming up short in bigger moments on bigger stages than some of these guys that put their foot on your neck. It's just a fact. All right? There's something to be said about a guy that's willing to accept the challenge. Jordan was the type of guy that always wanted to check and guard the guy on another team. So he just wasn't a guy looking to score all the time. But the main thing that he did best, that he was most creative in, and his biggest impact on the game was the scoring. Same thing with Kobe. You know what I mean? How much points Kobe dropped? 60 3/4, 81. That's what you think of when you think of Kobe. You think of a guy that's scoring. And same thing with Melo. These guys are per scores. Michael Jordan is a per scorer, one of the originators. All right? And some of the two of the biggest per score winners are Michael Jordan and then Kobe Bryant. Out of that whole list of guys that shoot first, ask questions later, so to speak, the two biggest winners on that list is Jordan and Kobe. They're the ones that achieve the most, and I think a lot of people tend to now try to disrespect or degrade somebody that looks to score first. Shouldn't you be appreciating a player's greatness for what they do from impact that they have on the game itself? Okay? Not everybody could be a defensive monster. Not everybody could be a rebounding monster like Dennis Rodman. All right? But that adds to what makes you great. I don't see nobody saying Dennis Rodman needs to score 50 points a game. I don't see nobody saying, all around players like, LeBron James or something, should drop a lot of points all the time, even though LeBron does get criticized for not dropping or not going into scoring mode sometimes. But people still tend to give him a pass for his all around play, because that's what they expect from him. But it's okay for those guys to do that. But when a guy wants to score and take over the game, you got nothing but negative criticism for these players now. And which I think is absolutely outrageous and stupid. Shouldn't you appreciate a guy that wants to win? And his biggest aspect is scoring. Jamal Crawford is a scorer. Okay? And people nowadays tend to disrespect a guy that's a score first player. They said this, oh, his time is out. You know, he's outdated and all this nonsense. You know, if you want to win the championship, this goes to any form of basketball, okay? Learn this lesson. If you want to win the championship, everybody has to play a role and do something completely different. Everybody can't play defense. If you're playing, if you have a whole team full of defensive players, who the hell's gonna score? Basketball is offense and defense, defense to offense, offense to defense. That's it. Okay? That's the two main components to winning at the end of the day. But within that, you got playmakers, you got pass first guys, you got double threats, you got rebounders, you got defensive minded players, you got scorers, you got all these things come together like cooking food. You mix it all together, and that's how you win championships. You know, and if you're the best player on the team, regardless of what you do best, and you're called the best player on the team, so be it. You're the MVP of the team. So put some respect on per scores. Respect them dudes. Peace.